there's going to be a pendulum swing because when we find that it does our weaknesses really well, that helps us bring it to a certain level. But at some point, human interaction has to be brought back in. Great questions have to be asked, and new ways. Let's and think about the grant writing. New ways are going to have to come up with ways to see who's the best if everybody's using AI, right? So I think there is, when I think about IT support, um, we're never going to lose the human interaction because when the moment you do that and you allow AI to take over, I don't know one person that just really loves calling on the phone and listening to an AI bot trying to get through a prompt, let alone tier one tech support, right? And I really feel like that's the human interaction, the people who can maintain that, but you leverage AI to make their weaknesses, great, are the ones that's going to be most successful. And I think there will be a course correction. AI will go so far, and then we will pivot as a result to that in some way. And I think it'll happen a lot faster because AI is fast. And I think there will be obvious things will become so obvious that right away that man, and I kind of attributed that to cybersecurity as well. And I did ask you, we talked about that last time we had spoken, and cybersecurity comes up, in a lot of conversations weekly for me, and a lot of people admit that they don't have it fully dialed in. And for remote first companies, it's just a real exposure point, especially with AI. Um, what's in your opinion, what's one thing every remote team should be doing right now, even if they're small, to protect themselves?
Yeah, I mean, the most basic is just really good password hygiene. I mean, that's just so dumb. Um, but I don't think it always gets done. I mean, I was involved in a company where the CEO fell to a phishing attack and ended up giving up his password to an outsider. And, we never knew exactly how much information was lost. We don't think it was a lot, but how do you know, right? I mean, arguably, if you go back to you go back to what was it, the 2016 election, right? Um, Hillary Clinton's campaign fell in part because of a phishing attack that was successful. Um, so, really just simple like password hygiene. I really, I would love to see a service that just does occasional pressure testing that you can subscribe to for a small business. When I was at the university, every couple of months you'd get an email that, looked on its face to be pretty reasonable. And it was a simulated phishing attack to see if you get sucked in. And you got told if you messed up. And I think that would be a valuable service for any small company. Um, one thing we've done with my family, I listened to a podcast recently by a guy named Evan Ratliff called Shell Game, and a lot of it, he did 2 seasons now, and the first season was all about AI voice agents, and he ends up cloning his own voice and using it to call his family and his friends. And of course, scammers are doing that already, right? If they get a voice sample, you and I on this podcast, that'll be more than enough voice sample for both of us. They can make an AI voice agent and call our loved ones and try to get access to bank accounts and other things. So over Christmas, I had my whole family here and we sat down and we agreed on a family code word. If anybody calls you that sounds like one of us and they need access, you don't give them a thing until you hear that code word. And everybody needs to do that. And organizations need to do that as well, not just families. Um, but yeah, no, you're the expert, Jake. Tell me, what do we need to be doing better?